This is Glow in the Dark Radio. The science fiction podcast with original independent science fiction written and performed by Mike Luoma, with music by Kevin MacLeod. The Vatican Assassin Trilogy and The Adventures of Alibi Jones by Mike Luoma are available in ebook, trade paperback, and audiobook wherever you find your books online. Get links and details at glowinthedarkradio.com. This is the Science Fiction Podcast, Glow in the Dark Radio. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma, and I have Chapter 23 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest, part of The Adventures of Alibi Jones Chronological Omnibus, coming up on this episode of Glow in the Dark Radio. We last left Alibi Jones as he was getting rescued from a grasping black tentacle from the alien ghost ship, which had coiled around his leg as he attempted to return to his ship. Cat pulled him and his bloody leg out of the airlock and the boot the alien had a hold of. Only the alien seemed to have already gotten through Alibi's boot somehow. We'll join Alibi Jones as he recovers in Chapter 23 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest on this edition of Glow in the Dark Radio. Well, a big thank you to patrons. I have to admit, though, I'm losing patrons. I don't know what it is, but I can use your help if you're not a patron yet, because I have lost a couple of people, and I can't keep this podcast going without help from a few patrons. So if you can, for $5, $10, or even just $2 a month, you can go to patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio and become a patron and help support the podcast. For those of you who are still patrons, I got a handful of people who are still with me. Thank you so much for hanging on and helping to support what I do here on Glow in the Dark Radio. I understand it's bad economics right now. It's a bad economic time. People are taking hits. So if you can, and you can still support the podcast, please head over to patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio and become a patron for either $2, $5, or $10 a month. I very much appreciate it. It helps pay for the websites and for the hosting, for the podcast and things of that nature. And those prices just keep going up too. So if you can help, please do. Otherwise, it's free. You just got to listen to me ask for some help every once in a while here. I'm going to ask you to hang out for just a little bit longer, and then we'll get into Chapter 23 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest on Glow in the Dark Radio.
The Flash Pulp Podcast. 3 to 10 minutes of fiction. Now it's three apocalypses in one. Yeah! Suffering from tough, stuck-on humans. 20 hellish hours of suffocation in the all-encompassing web of Carwick the Spider Dog will get them right out. Too many brains lying around? The ravenous mouths surrounding zombie-fighting brutes will quickly clean those up. Nosy neighbors, infect them with the murder plague, and watch as they dissolve into paranoid maniacs bent on the preemptive assassination of their friends and family. Why stop at one end of the world when you can have all three? You can find them all at flashpulp.com or search for them on iTunes.
Now here's Chapter 23 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest on Glow in the Dark Radio. Alibi woke up. He looked around. A hospital bed on Ceres Central. He recognized the decor. He grew up on the station, knew it was Ceres. No one else was in the room. The crew must have flown us back here after we got away. Got me fixed up. He looked down at his leg. Looked like they'd replaced part of his missing calf with cyborgian tissue and muscle. It was already healing. Alibi flexed his knee. The new tissue felt stiff, weird. Alibi? His Aunt Anita's voice rang out, calling from the room's communicator. Aunt Anita? He answered. How do you feel, Alibi? She asked. Okay, I guess, he said. You should be able to leave quarantine soon, Anita said. Quarantine? Alibi asked, stunned. But I feel fine. The doctors fixed up my leg pretty good. Your guys here on Ceres do good work. That's just it, Alibi, his aunt said, worried. The doctors didn't do anything. Your leg healed like that on its own, by itself. A flood of memories came cascading back all at once. Cat pulling him from the airlock, the blood, pumping blood, so much blood. Getting lifted, carried. Then, dreams. Strange dreams, floating among the stars. Alien dreams. Somehow Alibi knew the dreams were not his. Knew the alien vessel had infected him with its dreams. And more. Part of the ship remained with him. In him. Rebuilding his leg. Making him dream its dreams. What else is it doing to me? Haunted by the ghost ship after all. We'll need to keep you under observation for a little while, Anita said. I've got a doctor who specializes in xenobiology and a specialist in artificial limbs, both on their way here. And Krish is coming as well. Okay, Alibi said. But am I going to be able to stay here on Ceres? Won't the Constantine administration be after us? Eventually, his aunt said. But we're not advertising the fact you're here to anyone. I'm acting as if nothing is going on. Matter of fact, I have a little mission of my own to go off on. But I'll be back soon. Alibi looked down at his artificial leg, his alien leg. Human destiny? He mused. Anita frowned. Get some rest, Alibi, his aunt said. We'll have some help for you here soon enough. Once again, Dr. Devon Humphreys cautioned the project techs guiding the large sealed transport carton between them. They'd finally made it to the project laboratories. His building was in sight. Be careful! Don't let that thing open, the doctor said. Not until we get it inside a controlled environment. I've got some top men who want to have a look at it. Yeah, Doc, one of the techs responded. We know. Both techs were tired of the doctor's constant, worried cautions. He'd been fretting over his cargo since they'd picked him up at the Rigel 4 safe garrison. Don't worry, Doc, we're almost there. Inside the building, Humphreys unlocked the lab door and held it open for the techs as they floated the transport carton into his lab. Humphreys chuckled as they lowered it gently to the floor. And to think, the doctor said, they wanted to jettison it from the airlock. Bang! The thing inside the carton knocked. Hello, Alibi! Krish's greeting woke Alibi. He raised his head off the pillow. Krish stood next to the bed with another man and woman. Guess my quarantine is over. This is Dr. Malcolm Curry, Krish said, nodding at the man. And Dr. Jeanette Bialy. We're here to get a look at that leg of yours. Alibi swept back the blanket so they could see the leg and its repairs. Got him to break quarantine, huh? Alibi said. It doesn't appear to be contagious, Dr. Curry said. Dr. Curry is a xenobiologist, Krish said. And Dr. Bialy is an expert on integrated human and cyborg systems. Hello, Alibi said. "Hello, Alibi Jones," Dr. Bialy said. "That's quite a reconstructed leg you have there. I'm curious to see how it has infiltrated your biology." "Infiltrated?" Alibi said. "You would prefer, perhaps, invaded?" she said. "It is an external, truly alien element. I'm not sure what else to call it. If it has truly changed you in some way, you could be in violation of the law, intentional or not." "Great," Alibi said. "Dr. Bialy may be a bit extreme in her analysis, but we are deeply concerned with the way the alien technology has assimilated itself with your biology," Curry said. "We've never seen anything like it." "What about the ship?" Alibi asked. "Is it still out there?" "It phased away, or whatever it does, after you and your crew pulled away from it," Chris said. "There have been no more sightings." "Is everyone else okay?" Alibi asked. "As far as I know, your crew is back at the Hornet's nest," Chris said, "except for Dr. Humphreys, and of course, Lenora Schwald." "Humphreys wasn't really on my crew," Alibi said. "True," Chris said. "He's one of ours, whether we want him or not. Can be a bit of a stick in the mud." "He and Schwald didn't get along, for sure," Alibi said. The three others exchanged knowing glances. "Lenora didn't get along with many of us science types, as she called us," Chris said, explaining. "Still, I don't wish to speak ill of the dead, poor woman." "Whatever killed her did this to me," Alibi said, looking down at his leg. "Kinda sending mixed messages." "Or not," Dr. Bialy said, with subtle menace in her tone. "I was not in favor of lifting your quarantine." "Dr. Bialy believes you should be sedated," Chris said. "Can we trust someone whose biology has been so compromised by alien technology?" Bialy asked. "I believe we are taking a great risk allowing him freedom." "Or even consciousness?" Alibi said. She stared back at him, unemotional. "Like I'm her lab rat." Krish intervened, gathering up the other two scientists. "Come along, doctors," Krish said. "We'll get you settled in so you can start planning your tests for poor Alibi." Krish ushered them out of the hospital room, pausing only to give Alibi a quick look and a wink before he left. "Get some rest, Alibi." "Will do, Krish," he said. Alibi closed his eyes. He heard the door click shut as he drifted off to sleep. Alibi soared through deep space. The lack of light first hit him as stifling, claustrophobic. Space closing in as no space, before he got his bearings. Then he understood, and the universe expanded, spread out. He could sense more than see traces of distant suns, clusters of stars and galaxies. Zooming through the dark, he was aware he wasn't in control of his movements. Alibi felt like he was on a tour of some kind, a trip designed to show him something. He didn't know what. He hadn't seen anything yet. He simply soared. A small glowing dot grew into a smudge, became a spiral-armed galaxy, turned into a carpet of stars, nebula, and other star stuff as he approached. Alibi began to sense his shape. He was the ghost ship, the ancient alien vessel, as he now realized he assumed. He sensed the presence of others with him, but they had yet to make themselves known. He wondered when they would. Alibi's position continued to change. The ship shifted places, from a red nebula to a yellow nebula, and then off out past a blinking pulsar. Then it was on to the galactic core for a look at a black hole, though it was hard to keep the gravity well in focus. They skimmed in towards the event horizon, but drew away before the heavy pull prevented their escape. A jump, and they drifted through empty space, towards the glowing green gas clouds of a dying star. Pretty. Very nice tour.
Thank you.
a voice in chorus responded, surprising Alibi. Are you? Are you the ship? Are you responsible for my leg?
No, but then, yes. In a way. And yes.
The voice in chorus sang. Who are you?
We are the Rodet. You are now part of us, the living ships of the Rodet, the oneness.
I am not. I am Alibi Jones.
You deny us?
The voice in chorus asked, puzzled. Alibi tried to think out an explanation. Not all beings desire to be a part of another whole. You can't just reach out and grab people, or build them new legs. Some beings like, being independent. Your ignorance has made you hurt and kill sentient beings who did not understand what you were trying to do. Alibi sailed on through the dying star's gases in silence as the Rodet digested his thoughts. After a few minutes, Alibi felt the alien presence preparing to speak again.
We are the Rodet. You are Alibi Jones,
the voice in chorus said.
Yes. We could not communicate with others of your kind like this,
the voice in chorus said. Not even Lenora Schwald?
Who?
Alibi pictured the woman in his mind.
She is part of us now. She is Rodet,
the voice in chorus said. Perhaps, but she didn't want to be. You killed her.
She is not dead,
the voice in chorus said.
She is us.
The subtlety is lost on her corpse. Part of him wondered where he really was right now. Still in his hospital room on Ceres?
You are different,
the voice in chorus said.
You can travel with us, yet retain your shape. You maintain anchor to your corporeal self. You are there, and you are here, and we are with you, there and here.
Piali was right, in a way. Can't let her know that.
There is always great fear when we come, now,
the voice in chorus said, with sadness. Because you kill people.
We have not killed you, yet. And we do not kill. We make you the oneness.
The oneness?
An attempt at translation of understanding. We are many. We are one. A collective? In some ways. Not entirely. Let us show.
The oneness carried Alibi through the remains of a dying nebula, glowing stardust flashing purple, red, and blue around them, until they slid back into the plush velvet ebony of deep space. They traveled on, and the oneness spoke again.
We will show you where we began.
The oneness flew Alibi in towards a lone world, a dusky green marble lit by a large blue-white sun.
Home, where we began as the oneness. We were two and became one.
Are these memories, then? What was? Soaring in from above, Alibi saw black swarms of crystalline bugs crawling all over each other on the vast desert plain below. He didn't understand what he was seeing until he and the oneness descended from their great height. He realized the bugs were large bipeds, with skin like the outside of the great ship of the Rodet. They weren't crawling, they were attacking each other in a chaotic battle frenzy. When one of the figures killed another, Alibi began to understand. The black skin sloughed off the corpse of a fleshy figure underneath, inert, and slid over onto another figure whose own skin absorbed the first, creating a thicker skin.
The first hosters, the Dendon.
Your parasites. The thought was an accusation, an unbidden reaction by Alibi's mind.
No, we do not kill hosters. We enhance. Mutual benefit.
Alibi willed himself to wake up, snap out of the dream state, or whatever the mental state was, that allowed him to bond with and talk to the Rodet. He awoke in his darkened hospital room and opened his eyes. Dr. Bialy was next to the bed. The woman had an old-fashioned syringe in her hand. She was an arm's length away from Alibi's IV feed. He sat up. "Oh, shit," she said. "What are you—" Alibi asked, his question cut off, as the woman lunged at him with the syringe. That was Chapter 23 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest on Glow-in-the-Dark Radio, part of the Adventures of Alibi Jones Chronological Omnibus. Dr. Bialy trying to kill Alibi? You know, they keep those old-fashioned syringes around for just a few medications and applications that require them, but usually those things are just tucked away in drawers, you don't find them. Especially don't expect to see them in the, hand of your doctor lunging at you with bad intent. And what or who are the Rodet? Are they the ghost ship? Are they Alibi's new leg? All of the above? So many questions. I hope you'll be back for some answers in Chapter 24 of Alibi Jones and the Hornet's Nest, coming up on our next episode of Glow-in-the-Dark Radio. Once again, a big thank you to patrons, and if you can help out by becoming a patron and supporting the podcast, please do. You can do that at patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio. That's patreon.com/glowinthedarkradio. And there's 3 different levels, $2, $5, or $10 a month to help keep the podcast going, help pay the bills, and help keep things glowing. I suppose. That is all for this week. I'm your host, your writer and reader, Mike Luoma. Thank you again for listening to Glow-in-the-Dark Radio. Glow-in-the-Dark Radio. This podcast presentation is copyright 2026 by Michael F. Luoma and is protected under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 4.0 International License, CC by NC-ND 4.0. Music by Kevin MacLeod. You can find his work at Incompetech.com. Mike's books are available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook, wherever you find books online. Get links and more details at glowinthedarkradio.com and mikeluoma.com. This has been a presentation of Glow in the Dark Radio.